Fist.
Welcome to Split the Defense, Leafs post-game presented by Laforest Electrical Contractors, serving Kingston and the surrounding area since 2004. I'm Webby with CP and producer Ted in the booth. Thumbs up this episode, subscribe to our YouTube, and leave us a comment. Leafs beat the Flyers 3-2 thanks to who again? Matthew Knies scores the game-winning goal. Huge night for Matthew Knies, scoring 3 games in a row now. What do you think the main story for tonight is, CP?
I think the main story is Leafs getting wins they don't deserve. That's what I'm kind of feeling tonight. And it's not the first time this season I felt that. You know, like I feel like this game going into the third period, it's like 6-2. Or like 5-1 or something. You know, when this Leafs team doesn't play well, they still seem to find a way to not let the game get out of hand. And it gives them the ability to it even be 2-2 going into this game. You know, it just the offense. I felt like the defensive side was pretty good, except for 2 really bad plays that led to goals. And other than that, like they played pretty good on their side of the puck. Second line definitely struggled, but I just felt like the offense not clicking didn't affect the team's mentality and the way they play, and they kind of just kept grinding and had a little bit more energy in the third period to kind of sneak it out. I'm feeling pretty good about this team. I know it's kind of sucks and boring when they have one shot after a period, and no, don't get me wrong, just awful after one. You know, even after 2, like pretty friggin' bad. But the style of play, I think, keeps them in the game.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I'm glad that you think that they've adapted to it. It's fucking boring to watch sometimes, but it'll win you these games. And you're right, the offense didn't carry tonight. It was a good team win. Overall, I have to think that Joseph Woll had a lot to do with that, though. Hell of a game from Joseph Woll. Fedotov on the other end was pretty good, but Joseph Woll tonight on our side absolutely was the reason that they stayed in it. Now, we were all expecting a fight between Ryan Reaves and Rasmus Ristolainen.
The ghost of Ryan Reaves.
Yeah, what really happened there? Nothing, eh?
Nothing happened.
Did you even see him chat in his ear?
I mean, so this is my read on it, and I'm probably wrong. But so Reaves gives him the little check from behind on his way to the bench, right? And they seem to exchange some sort of a word. And then it seemed like Ryan Reaves had a bit of like a disappointed look, or just like a God damn it look. I think Hathaway just kind of shook him off, and he knew he wasn't going to, get the fight. I think Ryan Reaves of 3 years ago doesn't care, and he goes after him, and he makes a difference. But, this is not like, this is just a fraction of what Ryan Reaves used to be. I don't even see the point of putting him out there like anymore, and just kind of maybe put a bug in some of the other guys' ears. And like, you don't want Jake McCabe to stick up for guys like in that situation, but like I think you might get more out of Lorentz, or you got it from Dewar tonight if Reaves just isn't even in the lineup. I feel like people kind of expect it from him. It doesn't show up. And then like I don't see the point of having him in there. And then he's a -1. He's just no good out there. Even when there's like an opportunity to lay a good hit, it's like he doesn't have the foot speed to like make an impact, so he doesn't bother. I just don't like anything about his game these days. And I think that whole identity part of it, I think, lies more with guys like Dewar and Lorentz for this team. And we don't need a guy like Reaves.
So you brought it up. Dewar was chalking him tonight. He fought Joel Farabee. And he doesn't fight a lot. He's usually with 2 fights this season, but he also doesn't play a lot, especially here. Do you think that Dewar tonight went out of his way to pick a fight to try and keep himself in the lineup?
It's kind of, that's a tough one for me.
As soon as he dropped his gloves, I was like, it's almost like if he loses the fight, it's like bad. It looks bad on him. It's like, Dewar, this is a reason we have Reaves. Like, we don't want all of our guys going out there and getting their asses kicked. Like, right. I was instantly thinking like you're trying too hard for a position here.
My first reaction was to get on my feet and say, "Hell yeah, go get him, Dewar." I was pretty pumped to see Dewar drop the gloves, and I like. It's hard for me to gauge just because of the way that they talk to each other after in the box. Like, I don't know if that was a set up fight prior and they were both like, "Hey, yeah, thanks for doing that," or if it was just like, "Hey, decent fight." Like, I'm not a master lip reader that everyone claims to be, so I just
Could have just said you're a pussy.
But like they both said thanks.
Like,
I know that much. So it was either like good fight or thanks for taking it. I'm not sure which ones, but yeah, I just love that though. Dewar grows on me more day by day. Like that guy, it's everything that we kind of heard about him in Minnesota, but we just never got the full experience. I felt he never really came into his own in the end of last year like I would like to, and this year like started a little slow in my opinion. But just day by day, he's kind of proved his importance as a backup centerman on like third or fourth line if you need him, and just like an energy guy. He plays way bigger than he is. So I just like tonight. I'm glad he didn't fight Hathaway. That's for sure. Like it's glad it was Farabee because he's not the biggest lad, but yeah, just love that from him. And actually, if we're going to talk about the bottom six, like let's talk about Lorentz too, because that dude was just, I don't know what he ate for breakfast today, but he was about the only guy that had his legs.
Man, that guy can skate. It's funny when some guys that are so built to play the system and to play the right way and to get the puck and to dump it and chase it, when they take it for a run, you see how fast they are. Like a guy like Lorentz, and the guy that reminds me of that is Simon Benoit. Like he running the puck up the ice. These guys are fast. Some of these guys can skate, and that really kills me because the Leafs seem slow overall as a team, don't they?
Yeah, like I mean, the days of the Leafs being a fast team are over. Like I feel like that hasn't been the Leafs style for a while. And now it's too bad in a little way because being a forechecking team, like you want to be fast, right? So I think those guys are really important to the system because like, even Matthews, not the fastest guy. Like we all know John Tavares not winning a race anytime soon. Pacioretty, no, doesn't have the legs anymore. So like there's guys down the lineup that don't have it, but like Nyes can bring it a lot. Marner's pretty fast, Bobby McMahon's fast. Yeah, Willie can when like I don't know, he's kind of pissing me off right now, but yes. Just down the lineup, every line has a guy that can do that. So yeah, just it doesn't feel as bad as it could have, I think. But yeah, Dewar, Lorentz, like very important to this team's just style overall.
The fourth line's important. You've heard it all here. When we started this podcast, Craig was convinced that the fourth line didn't matter. Now he's all about it. I've completely turned him 360, 100%. All right, so JT on the power play had a nice snipe tonight. That was John Tavares' 20th goal of the season. He becomes the 32nd player in history to record at least 20 goals in 15 seasons, and he hits the 20. I guess he's 24 goals shy of 500. That was the other stat I wanted to relay. So JT's getting close to another milestone. He's not going to hit that this year, is he? He's not going to score 24 more goals this year. He's kind of on a tear.
Yeah, no. I mean, we are just past halfway. Like I could see him. Like if he got to 40, I'd be super impressed. But yeah, I think that if you got 15 more out of JT, that'd be what I would expect on a good season. 35. And yeah, he's just what a season for JT. Like he's playing better, I think, than he has in a couple years. Everyone talks about the contract year thing, but it could be a bit of that. But I just think that it's a guy that just doesn't care about the captaincy, is here to like prove that he still has it. And yeah, he's doing it all. I mean, I don't know if he's working up, like most of the time when a guy's on a contract and he's playing really well, I'm kind of worried what the number is. I think regardless, the JT number is going to be pretty good. But yeah, he's definitely playing really well on a contract year. And what a shot too. Like just picks the corner.
Yeah, absolutely. He got the puck and I instantly thought it would be really nice if he could, do that. Snipe it right in that exact spot. Cause there was like just a fraction of an inch there for him to get it and he nailed it. It was beautiful. Good goal by JT.
Honestly, Nyes was standing in front, and I thought for sure it went off of his pads because I didn't think there was any way he was going to pick that corner. But yeah, good on him. He did it.
Clean. Picked it clean.
Mm-hmm.
My note here, I'll just read it verbatim. Fucking Timmins giveaway leads to second goal. soft. And go.
Yeah, man, like that dude is just not fit to be in a lineup, I don't think. I mean, it's fine. It's fine to like every
Would you
team
rather
kind of
Marshall
has him.
Rafai?
Yes, I would 100% Marshall Rafai. I have very limited experience with him, but my experience with him in preseason games that I've seen him is I do really like him. He's just never really had a chance. Like his name's been around in the system for a long time now, but I'm not sure he's really been given like even more than a game. Has he gotten a game yet?
I think so. Yeah, I feel like
A
he
game?
has. Yeah, I feel like he got
Yeah.
a game.
Right.
Maybe.
I would rather see him because like Timmons is always going to
I
provide
feel like
stuff
he
like
got
that.
pushed around pretty bad.
Man, he got his lunch money stolen. That was tough. Like, just literally, he gets caught in a tough situation. But if that's like anyone else on the team, I think they'll get out of that. Like, it's just one pass away, like just using your body to protect the puck. Like, he just got totally overwhelmed. And I mean, he's been out of my playoff lineup forever. But that should just tell you all you need to know, that one play. So, yeah, I would give Marshall Rafai a chance. Like, what is Timmons providing? Other than just like, screw ups here and there. Like everyone talks about his offensive ability, but I don't see it.
That's why he's on this. That's why he's the seventh defenseman. Yeah. And I feel like he did have offensive ability. And I feel like Sheldon Keefe was trying to coach that and let him be free. But his mistakes were glaring and you couldn't accept his low offensive production for the amount of mistakes that he had. So you couldn't put him out more trying to fish for more offense because his mistakes would just multiply. And he was given that. So I think Berube probably pushed a Berube or whatever assistant coach worked with him, pushed a defense first thought process. And I think that just ruined who Timmons is as a player.
That's fair. I mean, yeah, if he was just always considered like you were going to be a top end offensive guy and just focused on that, like maybe it has screwed up his like development, but I don't know. From the get-go he got here, he had like flashes here and there, so I can see like what people were talking about, but just not with any consistency. So I don't know. It's too bad, but he's probably destined for either another team or just being in a Marley for a long time.
Let's get to some comments here, CP. So the first one we got here is no way Lawton cleared concussion protocol that fast.
Oh yeah. I 100% agree. I mean, both of them I was shocked to see come back. But yeah, Lawton was the guy laying on the ice and took him 5 minutes to get up. Like, I think it took him longer to get off the ice than it did him in concussion protocol. So I don't know I don't know what the system, like the rules are back there, like blink 3 times and you get to go out. But
at least he was good. Like, hopefully he was just good, like clearly very good. Like, it wasn't so much as that. But like, was it Mishkov that he ran into?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Mishkov.
He got a big cut in his face from that. Is that who got cut from it? Yeah.
I honestly think that was from Pacioretty because Pacioretty clipped Mishkov after the fact. But yeah, that I was shocked that Mishkov was the guy to come off, like get off the ice like quicker and seemed to be more okay at the beginning because gets head to head.
He's young.
Yeah, and if you go head to head and then you take a shoulder of Pacioretty to the head again, like I can't believe you're not knocked out. But I guess actually in boxing and MMA, you do see the young guys take a punch way better than say if that was Pacioretty. Ooh,
exactly.
Yeah, fair enough.
All right. So Tizzy here, Ryan Tisdale, he said he'd rather see a player like Matthew Oliver in the lineup than Reeves because he averages 14 minutes a night and will fight all the heavyweights and holds his own. Matthew Oliver would be like the best Christmas present in the whole entire world, wouldn't it?
He would be, but at the same time, like that's like a guy that plays 14
like a
minutes.
Third line Ryan Reeves.
Yeah, it is. But I mean, like, do we need a third line? Like, I'm still set on this center, like either being like a shutdown guy or offensive contributor, and I'm not sure that's him. If you get to go out and get multiple guys, I would welcome him on my team any day. There's no question. But Brad Treliving's never been a throw multiple darts at the board type of a guy. He's I'm going to get one thing that I really need, and so that's kind of what I'm expecting from him. Maybe 2,
Well, we'll have.
And we need a defenseman because like Timmons can't be in the friggin' lineup. That's for sure.
All right, the only thing I think I have left on my docket here is some Matthews praise. Matthews scores his 13th of the season. He's got 200 multi-point games as a Leaf now, and he had 7 points in 3 games. He might even have more points. I can check here real quick. How many points did Matthews have this game? He had 2 points, so he actually had 8 points in his last 3 games since coming back from injury. You think Matthews is fully healed?
Man, it's crazy. Like
what?
I honestly don't understand what happened. I mean, I think
Did he go back to Germany?
No, not that I've heard of. But I think maybe Matthews misspoke or he said something he should have when he said, like, I'm not sure I'm going to be healthy this year, And I think that's maybe more alarming than it is. Like lots of guys aren't going to be fully healthy by the end of the year or like until the summer. Most guys, once they start dealing with something, like it's always going to be nagging them unless they take a significant chunk of time off. And so like, I don't know, I'm going to err on the side of positivity. And maybe it's just, he kind of overspoke on how severe this injury is. Like maybe he does have a sore back, but it's not something that's going to like really affect his game so much. I don't know though, man. It's just like, it's weird to think that.
I wonder if he like knew and like everybody knew and they just like so like hide everything, like everybody's day to day. And Matthews knew and he came out, knew he was going to play both games on the weekend, and he comes out and says that like what, days before, like 48 hours before he plays, he says like, I don't know if I'll ever be the same again. And he comes out and now in the last 3 games he's got 8 points.
He looks
like,
exactly
you think he
like
was
the guy
fucking around?
I honestly
maybe like he's been here for a while. He knows the like
he knows,
feed on this, like right. He maybe he's just like, yeah, you guys want something? Here's something.
Maybe like here's just a juicy nugget.
He's like,
for
oh,
the
I'm back. Yeah, never mind.
Oh, that's pretty mean of him because like I was pretty worried about him. So like, fuck that guy.
Fuck that guy. No,
I mean, never mind. I'm just happy to see that he's at least. I mean, 8 points in 3 games. That is better than he's played at his height. So yeah, just like back to who he was, playing on both ends of the ice too. It's helped that Marner's been really like he hasn't stopped being really good since Matthews was out and has continued that.
Yeah. Another 2 points for Marner. So yeah, it's nice to see that Marner was on that big tear. He's always been criticized for being better when Matthews is away. And do you feel now in the last 3 games that Matthews has been back, that Marner has kept that pace, that he's kept that intensity in his game?
Yeah, I think we're always going to see a drop of goals when Matthews is in and Marner, like when Matthews is out, I think Marner's goals are always going to increase. And so we probably won't see him score as much as like we did when Matthews was out. But I do think that he has continued his good play, like on both sides of the puck. Made a couple errors tonight that felt a little bit like too much pressure on him and he made a mistake, which that's not great because that looks like what he looks like in the playoffs. But, like even the best players, they're not going to be perfect. Even in the playoffs, they're not going to be perfect. But, I expect perfection from Marner. I mean, I know it's just because he's paid a lot, but he's also just been such a good player for so long. And I think this has been one of his best seasons. So, I mean, he feels a little bit like the leader of the team to me right now. And I think it's a little bit because Matthews has been out and gone, but just like he has been able to step up and keep this team and put them on his shoulders a little bit. And I think it's people don't talk about it enough, I think, because so many people are so willing to jump on you about Marner because, oh, what about the playoffs? He'll disappear. Right. But like, I don't know. It's been so impressive this year. I think that
they're objectively right.
They are objectively right, but I think that I've seen a little bit extra from him. And I do still think I want to see a bit more like piss and vinegar from him instead of like the woe me that you kind of see sometimes.
It's just not who he is. You're never going to see that.
Then just cut out the woe me part. Cause that's the part that Marner always pisses me off a little bit. And it's not a winning mentality. I like it when guys like, if you're going to have that reaction, just have no reaction at all. But that's like the only thing I can pick on the guy. Like he literally has been amazing this year. So.
Fair enough. All right. What points you got left for this game here, CP?
I thought just an interesting point on Myers, just he's getting so much confidence from the coach that he's out there instead of OEL at the end. And immediately thought, like, when the lines were getting mixed up, it was going to be Myers gets bumped out, and you're going to make something work with OEL, Riley, Tanev, and Benoit. But like Benoit obviously gets bumped in to play with Tanev, but it's OEL that sits on the bench, which a little surprised at, but at the same time, I'm still seeing all the things that I was seeing with Myers. He's not making any big, huge mistakes, and he's very, very strong in front. There was actually a play tonight. Riley's the first defenseman back. He goes and he just stands next to the guy in front. Myers is coming from a line change, so he's late to the party a little bit. And so Myers just like sees there's a guy in front and just goes and clears the front of the net, just like doesn't take an option of this guy not being there when Riley is just so willing to stand next to him. And so like the one part that's a praise to Myers, but at the same part, like I do like Riley to me has not looked like what I want him to look like. I don't want to just go down a roll of like he's been bad, because he hasn't. He's just been a little underwhelming. But remember that Riley's a guy that has always been able to pick it up in the playoffs. And I feel like you just get a next level from Riley, just like starting game one. Like he's angry, he gets into plays, and I do give him a little bit of lax on those, because I do think you do see more of it when it really comes to crunch time. And I'm not sure if it's a mindset of laying off all season, because I swear he's just a different player. Or if it's part of just like he gets into the game and it kind of drives him to be more, grittier. So I'm just hoping that, Riley can be like a really impressive second line defenseman. And hopefully the points do come, but I do just kind of rest on, there is a little snarl to that guy's game that you just don't see on a game 43.
Yeah. That's one thing you do have to take into consideration. It is game 43. Guys are going to play harder for different opponents as well. And I don't know if the second game against the Philadelphia Flyers, where there was already shit, is necessarily a good one to put that against. But yeah, I think we do expect more out of him. What else you got for me?
I think that's about it. It's kind of tough to pick up anything positive from the first two periods. I mean, like you said, Woll was really good. Held them in it.
Hard to make notes about nothing.
Yeah, man, just brutal. I mean, it's such awful hockey to watch when your team.
I thought that was the main story of the night.
Yeah,
it was a game of Seinfeld out there.
Yeah, for sure. It was bad for sure. Yeah, I mean, the one thing that I do like though is like during that poor play, I guess the positives I would pick out was that like Lorentz was moving. Benoit, I thought, had some of his best shifts of the year tonight. In the third period,
Benoit seems to be increasing. He seems to be getting better every single game. It seems to be like there's like game after game after game, Benoit seems to be unveiling what kind of player he really can be. And I'm not seeing a whole lot of, glaring mistakes. He had a couple of, shaky incidents tonight, but he recovered, thankfully. And so I won't necessarily say he's like an absolute liability, but I think he was, he's getting better each game. And it's just crazy. His only hindrance is that he shoots left. Like, he should not be a third. Like, we could use him up higher. We use him more, but he shoots left.
Yeah, for sure. One thing that I do remember is he had a baby, his wife had a baby at the very beginning of the year, like in preseason. So, new dad, tough. It's not just a new dad bump you get. Like, the guy was probably having like zero sleep, So, so maybe we're just seeing an 8 hours of sleep Benoit progressing through the year. He's getting more and more sleep every day because they're figuring out how to be parents.
Yeah, the baby's starting to sleep. Yeah.
So I mean, there's a bit of that too. I do remember that. Yeah,
there it is. How about that missed open net at the end?
Yeah, tip it. Oh my god, that's tough, man. I mean, it was a tight angle, but there's at least a foot of wide open net for him to hit, like at least. So yeah, I mean, those. I don't know what to say about that. That's lucky. Like, geez.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. All right, shall we wrap this sucker up?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, we'll be back after they play the Hurricanes on Thursday, but for now, that's a wrap. Thanks for joining us for Split the Defense Leafs post game presented by Laforest Electrical Contractors, serving the Kingston and surrounding area since 2004. Leave us a comment, hit that like button, subscribe on YouTube, and listen to us in podcast form anywhere you listen to podcasts. Eventually, We'll get back to that. Still having some technical difficulties there. But you can still find us on YouTube and Facebook. Catch us on demand. We're here after every game, mostly. Until next time, peace.
Peace.
Follow the boys on Twitter at STDPWebby, at Craig D. Pearce, and at Ted_is_shook.